Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the school committee meeting for tonight, September 9th, 2019. If everyone could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I just want to take a minute to remind everyone that this meeting is being taped by our own Dartmouth Community Television as well as our high school students, and it's replayed throughout the week on several different occasions. And if everyone could please silence your cell phones, that would be helpful. Roll call, please.
Kathleen Amaral.
Here.
Chris Oliver.
Here.
Carol Karafotis.
Here.
Shannon Jenkins.
Here.
John Nunes.
Yep.
Okay, so we have allowed on the agenda 10 minutes for public comment. So if there's anything on the agenda that anyone wants to come speak about, I welcome you to do so now to the podium.
Take that as a
Okay,
no.
take that as a no. Okay. So the next item I have is approval of the minutes. So we have the regular session minutes from August 19th, 2019. And then we also have in our packet the working session minutes of September 3rd, 2019.
You want to take them together?
I think we should, take them together.
Motion to approve both.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. Motion passes. Next on the agenda, we have a student representative report. My daughter, but she's on her way home from a 5-1 win field hockey varsity game, finally.
Well, that's a good excuse.
Yeah, I know, I texted her when I said, like, are you, like, coming? Anyway, so congratulations to them. And next on our agenda, really exciting, like breezing through it, is our welcome and introduction of new teachers. So thank you, Tracy Oliveira.
Good evening, and thank you once again for having us. This is my favorite hat that I wear for Dartmouth Public Schools, is the Project Time Facilitator. If you do not know, TIME stands for Teacher Induction and Mentoring Experience. Every year, our new teachers come together, and we kind of coddle them a little bit, get them set up with a mentor, and kind of help them learn Dartmouth with a lot of support from our teachers who have been here for a while. So our mission statement for Project Time, as you can see up there, it just clearly boils down to, we really help our new teachers by partnering them up with a veteran teacher. So whether someone who's new to our district and just needs to learn where to park, where to sit, how do we do certain things in our student information system, or whether it's someone who's brand new to teacher and needs help with pedagogy, we get them set up and provide them support. One thing that I've learned from doing this program for quite a few years is that we learn from the new teachers as much as they learn from us. Some people coming from other districts can tell us different things and little tricks and tips of classroom management, and I just lost my complete train of thought. I don't know why, but we learn together from both folks. So we have two parts of our time, teacher induction and mentoring. Induction is just a group process. It's usually that first year where we do everything that we've talked about. We train people together on 504s, on mandated trainings, on curriculum. It's all of a group process where we move together, and everyone new to Dartmouth goes through an induction period. Mentoring is much more one-to-one. We find out what the individual person needs. We set them up with what they need. We get them settled. Folks also sometimes need extra years of mentoring because of licenses through DESE. So I always look at it as we provide that service to folks. So we give them a mentor, we set them up with what they need so that they can get the check in the box and get also the training so they can move their license to the next stage. So we met for 2 days before the kids came over at the high school, and I have a Red Bull there because it is 2 days filled with lots of activities. And I always feel bad thinking of the people on the other side of the table listening to me for 2 long days, because we really just tell them everything they need to know, but not a lot of information about that. So we set them up with an Aspen account, which is our student information system. We set them up with a TeachPoint account, which is what we do for our PD and our teacher evaluation. We set them up with everything they need, and we said, this is what you need. and then they have the school year to kind of start unpacking that and getting really familiar with it. We train them, as you can see from that very small print up there. We have Dartmouth PD comes in and does ALICE training. We have Katie Paveo come over and do a skillful teacher. We do that book study throughout the year, and she launches us for that. Kyle Robidoux comes over and does a nice, great piece with our new people about why we teach, why we're here, what's important about teaching. And we do teacher eval. We cover just about everything, just on the surface area, and then we dig down as the year goes. This is our schedule across the year where we start digging down. We have one meeting about a month, every month. And as I said, we'll do the book study from Skillful Teacher and John Safier. We'll take that apart across the year. We're going to spend 2 months on curriculum this year because we have a lot of people at the elementary level, which is really nice. So we'll start a book study with them on some Lucy Calkins workshop. We're going to have our middle and high school people doing a book study on innovation. We have Beth Townsend, our SPED director, coming for a month to really dig down into special ed. We have our technology coming in first this week, actually, who's going to start digging down, helping them figure out any platform issues that they have and getting straightened up. So we'll take them throughout the year, just learning everything there is to know. So I want to introduce you to all of our new people and their mentors. And before we start, I always like to give a great big shout out to our mentors because they really spend a great deal of time helping out the new people. Even from, I popped into Quinn the other day and they had coffees, they were buying them coffees. They were walking down the hallway today. Everyone was having supper together from takeout. There was a lot of food. I was a little jealous, just saying. But really take them under the wing and support them to the best they can. So I want to really give a big shout out to our mentors. So when I call their name, both the mentees and the mentors, if they could just stand and give a little wave. And I also asked the mentors to take a picture of the mentee in doing something that they love to do, and also to write a little sentence about them as a surprise. So I figured they've been in the job for 2 weeks. What do we want to say about them? So as we go through, you can read what the mentors have liked to say. You can't see it? It's in your PowerPoint.
Well, they don't have it.
I can't read those, I don't have it. So at Cushman School, we have Lindsay Souza, who's our new preschool teacher, and Sam Sochi is her mentor. At Potter School, we have Erin Gill as our 5th grade teacher, and Kathy Clausen is her mentor. And not that we don't love all of our Quinn people, but I'm going to ask them all to stay standing, and we'll save the applause for the end. So we have Mary Bolton, who is our new grade 5 teacher, and her mentor is Janine Tavaz. Ashley Farland is also a new grade 5 teacher, and Wendy Candeas is her mentor. Michael Bowman is also a new grade 5 teacher here at Quinn School, and Janine Tavaz is also his mentor. Christiana Shagowi, I think I said that wrong. All right, is our kindergarten teacher, and Nicole Daniel is her mentor. Katarina Santos is a kindergarten teacher, also Nicole Daniels is her mentor. Laura Hayes is a new PALS 3 to 5 SPED teacher, and Lindsay Valfides is her mentor. Marissa Roser is a special education grade 5 teacher, and Shannon Salvador is her mentor. Jillian Woodward is a grade 1 teacher, and Mary Sullivan is her mentor. William Silver is our music teacher here at Quinn School, and Tricia Leary is his mentor. And Samantha Johnson is a grade 3 teacher, with Laura Jenkins being her mentor. Thank you, Quinn. So over at Dartmouth Middle School, we have John Furtado, who is our general music specialist, and Dan LaFave is his mentor. Sarah Rodricks is a grade 8 special education teacher, and Lisa Katz-Turgeon is her mentor, who couldn't be here today. And Megan Medeiros is our new past teacher, and Lisa Katz is also her mentor. So welcome aboard to our Dartmouth High School. And over at our high school, we have Ji Shi, who is our world language teacher, and Hillary Souza is her mentor, along with Melissa Lombardo, who is also our Spanish teacher, and Hillary Souza is her mentor. Megan Lazant is a new history teacher, with Caitlin McCary-Dearly being her mentor. And Jennifer Thomas is our instructional technology teacher, with Caitlin also being her mentor. Emily Goodwin is our new library media specialist, and Will Higgins is her mentor. And Brady Page is our math teacher, and Deb August is his mentor. And those are our high school folks. Welcome. We have two new people who we call them district employees because they work at a few different schools. So Michael Daniels is our low strings teacher, and Shirley Byers is his mentor. And we have Patrick O'Neill, our school psychologist, and Katie Noyes is his mentor. So I'm excited. I think so far they've been happy. I've checked in with all of them. They always seem happy. The questions that they have seem appropriate questions. Their nerves seem appropriate. So I think we're all in a good place. And I explained to them that the retention here in Dartmouth is usually great. So welcome aboard and have a good year. I don't know if the committee has any questions.
Thank you. I can start. Thank you, Ms. Oliver, for everything. Welcome to Dartmouth. It's a pleasure to meet all of you, and I wish you nothing but the best in your career, and hope you're here for a whole number of years and retire from here in 40 years. I promise I won't be here at that time. If I am, I'll be walking around who knows how. But on a serious note, as I usually say, and it's really true, I mean, take a look at your mentors and, lean on them for anything you need. Any questions, as they say, the dumb question is the one you don't ask. So talk to them, get them to help you. There's a possibility they may not have run into it, but they may know somebody who has run into that type of a problem and has the answer. So look to them for help, and don't be afraid. And I wish you a good year. Thank you.
Well, I would like to welcome everyone also. Actually, I probably was a teacher or an employee of the Dartmouth school system for almost 40 years. But anyway, I just want to welcome you and wish you the best, and know that Dartmouth has a great reputation, and it's because of the teachers and the administrators who've come before you. So you more or less stand on their shoulders, and we go forth looking to make every day better for our students and for ourselves. So welcome, and wishing you the best.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited. This is one of the best nights of the year when we get to welcome all our new teachers. You're the greatest asset our district has. You do a lot with very little here in this district. And as a parent and a school committee member, I'm so proud of all of the work that you do. And I wish you great success.
I love going towards the end here. Everything's already been said. However, welcome to Dartmouth, everyone. I will echo what some of my colleagues have said, that Dartmouth is a great school system. You should be very proud and lucky that you are here in Dartmouth. We have the support system in place. As you can see, Mrs. Oliveira got you off to a wonderful start with your mentors, and it seems like you have a jam-packed full agenda coming up this year to kind of learn the ropes of Dartmouth, but please lean on your mentors, just like Mr. Noon said, and have a wonderful time and a wonderful experience in Dartmouth to all of you.
Yeah, I mean, they all said it. So welcome to Dartmouth. I love how this year we utilize technology, and I feel badly that I know much more about you than you know about us. I think I kind of made someone uncomfortable in the hallway already recognizing who they are. Looking right at you again. But no, welcome. It's a great community to live, to be a parent in, to serve on this committee in this capacity, and to get to know all of you and see the wonderful work that you do through the children and through my own children. So welcome.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank, again, Ms. Oliveira for running a really fantastic program. I've talked to a number of folks, obviously, and they've all expressed how excited they are, very, very happy to be here. And it's interesting to know a number of them, once again, are Dartmouth grads, and so it's just really nice to see that, that they come back and want to be here. But just even tonight, talking to a couple that is just like, I'm so happy to be here. So it's exciting. But again, the support that's offered by their mentors, the veteran teachers who step up to do that, as well as their admin in the school and everybody, it's just, I think it really makes a big difference. You don't see it in a lot of schools. I remember being a first-year teacher, and I don't even remember having a mentor program or anything. So it's really good, really good. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know if we could give them all a round of applause.
Now they can leave.
Thank you. What's that? So
They can
you can go home.
just go home.
Or if you want to stay and watch us.
Or you don't have to go home, but you definitely don't have to stay here
Welcome to stay.
for my bartending days. Oh. Give them a minute.
Different. Did you see that one?
Yeah, what is
I don't know what that is.
I don't either. I saw that.
Lots of new faces. That's great.
I know.
We'll all make a bet. What do we think it is?
Okay.
I don't know.
So next on our agenda, we do have the presentation, but we're going to move that to a future
Future
school
date
committee
in
meeting, if
October.
that's
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So from there, I guess we move down to that, to
Fundraising.
the fundraising activities, which we have in our packets. Anybody want to, we have a fundraising activities for the year for the Dartmouth School Music Association, as well as fundraising activities for the Quinn PTO.
Motion to approve both?
I'll second that.
Second. Can I just ask one question? I don't know if this normally happens. I know that the Quinn PTO has a financial accounting of the fundraisers past. I think we usually get that with the DMSA, or is that?
Ours isn't ready yet.
Okay, but they will be submitting
Yeah,
that later.
once we get
Perfect.
it,
And
once
it's
we
not
get
that I don't trust anyone, it's just since we're signing our names to it, I'd just like to see the
I
report.
was going to ask the same question.
Yeah, no,
Great.
it's not ready. It'll be-
Okay,
when
fabulous.
it's ready, I'll get it to you guys.
Okay,
No
great.
problem.
Thank you, Mr. Nunes.
Any other discussion on either of these two?
I don't know.
Lots of great activities that we all look forward to, lots of hard work on behalf of, yes.
I would just like to thank the Quinn parents for their work on that playground this summer. What a great job.
Yeah.
So thanks to all the work. I know all of our parent groups do so much for our schools, so we're most appreciative.
If I could call Bill up, could you come up? Oh,
If you're gonna say
you want,
something,
yeah,
can
come
you
up so
come
that we
up?
can.
Can you come up? Because they can't hear you, sorry, and when you're sitting back there, sorry.
They can hear
I
you,
know you
but-
don't want to come up, Mr. Kingsland, but, sorry. Mr. Parati will kill us if we don't make you come up here.
Thank you.
Know this
Hi, so
new man.
this is Russ Benoit, he's the new president
Wonderful.
Nice to meet you.
of the DSMA. The reason that report part that Dr. Jenkins is looking for isn't done is because we've had kind of a turnover in the membership and the leadership. So it takes a while to get everything from the person that was doing it to the
Sure.
new person who is doing it. So, and we have a really, really good bookkeeper who's gonna be the new
Great.
person. So you'll see
Great.
that, I would imagine, in about 3 weeks' time.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you for
Thank
clarifying
you.
that, and welcome.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Welcome.
Yeah, you'll be seeing a lot of
Great.
Russ.
Yeah,
and-
good.
Yeah, they'll
Excellent.
keep you busy. Okay, so
Just
we
need
have a motion, we have a second. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Madam Chair, I'll abstain on both of them.
okay, one abstention. Thank you. And next up is new business. So, Mr. Kiley or Dr. Gifford?
Thank you, Ms. Samaral. So the first item here is capital improvement plan update. So I had provided you with a summary of the capital improvement planning committee recommendations. So we presented, just to remind everyone, the way this works is we present over the course of 2 town meetings our current year recommendations to the capital improvement planning committee. they fund some in June, and then they fund some in October potentially, and then they go back on the list if they're not funded, if they remain a priority for us. So we did have several projects, technology-related projects, a maintenance truck and a flooring replacement article that were funded in June, and we made good use of those and got a lot done, especially with technology and the flooring. We're waiting on a truck, but that takes months to get in. So we went before the Capital Improvement Planning Committee, and they've recommended the projects that I listed to move forward. That includes the Memorial Stadium renovations, the second maintenance truck of the two we initially requested, music instrument replacement, flooring replacement, the remaining amount that they hadn't funded in June, parking lot repaving, interior and exterior painting, bathroom and locker room renovations, lawn and snow equipment replacement, and kitchen equipment replacement. So they've recommended funding for all of those items and have, at that point, it moves forward to the Finance Committee and then the Select Board and then to Town Meeting ultimately for their approval, hopefully on October 15th. So I went to the Finance Committee last week, and I was invited there sort of as if there's any questions. It might be nice that you're there. So then I was asked to do a presentation. So that was a little different. But I was up at the podium for about, I don't know, I think it was about 45 minutes. It seemed like about 2 hours, but I was up there for a while talking about the projects, and it's on video if you want to see it. I would have invited you all, but I didn't expect to be there in that capacity. So, and I didn't have anything in writing provided to the Finance Committee folks. So tomorrow I'm going to put together something for them, just sort of summarizing what, a little more detail of what the requests entailed and provide that to them. So they were supportive, but they haven't voted yet. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have on those recommendations.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Wow, Mr. Kiley, that's exciting. That the CIP committee is recommending most of those items for approval. That being said, I would like to start off with thanking the Finance Committee and the townspeople for the new turf field and the new scoreboard, and I think it looks, I gotta say, I think it looks awesome. And I think our students are very fortunate and lucky to be playing on that field now. I don't think everyone has had the opportunity yet, but hopefully in the coming weeks they will. That being said, I'm really excited that they're recommending the phase 2 and phase 3 of the both phases. Is that correct, Mr. Kiley?
That's correct.
That
Completion of the project.
That figure is okay. My only request that I would have is, just so I can be more comfortable with it moving forward, is just if you could share some of the details amongst some of those line items with us, with the committee. I think that would be great, but this is going to go a long way to improving education. That's what it comes down to, let's face it, education for the students in the town of Dartmouth. So I have nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I kind of have to echo Chris's comments. When we got this the other day and it was, 3.6 million, I was absolutely flabbergasted yet, and also thrilled. I can, and I watched the Finance Committee meeting Thursday night and, over the weekend, and thank you to them for their support and the CIP and everyone. Yeah, I agree with Chris. The stadium and the scoreboard look fantastic, and getting excited for Friday night or Friday afternoon, twilight time type of deal. The 3.6 million, to complete that project, I think in the long run, personal opinion, is actually per se a money saver with, not having to bid twice and, possible the setup charges and that, staging and that type of deal, so. Plus
There's
the
a,
costs.
if I might, there's a few opportunities for savings there. Obviously, interest rates are really favorable right now, so that may not be the case if you spread it out down the road. But definitely the mobilization costs of, having a contractor get everything they need to do work on concrete structures on site twice would be somewhat significant. Hopefully, there's some economies of scale for the work, and we get a good favorable bid. So we'll hopefully, if funding is approved on October 15th, we'll move forward with that detailed design process and hopefully get it out to bid at a time that there would be plenty of contractors looking for work. That would be the goal.
Kathleen,
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Brandon.
if I can, one
Mhm,
quick.
please do.
With this bid, for phase 2 and 3, per se, is, we gonna end up with one GC and then, multiple subs like we had here type of deal, probably?
The one additional thing that we really didn't originally plan for that we're going to end up with is an owner's project manager. So because of the scope of this project and because we have, because of the dollars involved, legally we're required to have an owner's project manager. We didn't have it on this job, and I think we were fine without it, but the reality is, by law, we're gonna have to have it. We may limit the capacity, the responsibility of that job, so that, it's a little, well, hopefully not too expensive, but, so we are gonna have to add that, but yeah, it'll be one, my hope is that it would be one project.
Yeah.
There's a lot to factor in for that, obviously, though, the timing is, we want to still play, obviously, so, we want to have the field there. As to whether we could get that all done in one summer, I'm not sure. I think we can, but, we're going to have to figure out the phasing of that. I mean, we don't have any detailed design at this point, obviously, just the original, feasibility study design. So, as we move forward, we'll figure out, okay, what's the best way to approach it? But I think the intent is that it would be one bid.
Okay, thank you.
So, Mr. Cutler, can I get some clarification on the sources of funding for capital? I think we talked a little bit about this, but maybe just to be more clear. Is the Memorial Stadium renovations are coming from borrowing capacity?
That's the
right?
intent.
And then the rest of it, which is still, a little under, but that's the portion that's coming from free cash.
Right, about 800,000 from free cash.
Right, and the reason why I want to make this clear to everyone, because I am entirely sympathetic to the signs that our audience members are holding. For those of you who can't see it, some of our teachers are here, and I understand they are rightly upset. I'm sympathetic to that. But I do want to make clear when people see that number, $4.4 million, is that some of it is not available to pay for things like salaries. Like people just see numbers, they don't understand sources. I am sympathetic to those sorts of things, and do think we need to be looking at that. But that I think it's important to make clear that the 3.6 is out of our existing borrowing capacity. It's not free cash. So I just wanted to clarify that for everyone.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Next, we have our final.
Sure, so the financial report. So we spent $43,085,964.15, which is exactly what we got. We actually were slated to be about $2,000 over at the end and had to move some money around to make sure that we were not. But so we've spent most of the money in the categories that were originally intended. So total budget transfers were $398,000, which is about 0.9%. And those areas in which we spent those funds would be special ed tuition, transportation costs. Those would be the largest areas. And most of the savings came from the utilities area, so the maintenance and utilities line. You'll see there's almost $200,000 that we didn't spend on maintenance utilities, which was good because we spent it on special ed tuition. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. Our goal is to use every dollar wisely, and for the benefit of the students here. And I think I feel comfortable that we are doing that, and that we're always thinking of the best way to spend the money efficiently and effectively. So.
Beautiful. Good job.
Thank you very much.
We need a motion to approve this.
Yeah.
You have voted these in the past, yes.
Motion to approve the FY19 year-end financial report.
Go ahead. I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes, thank you again.
You're welcome.
Next, we have superintendent's update.
Yes, you do.
Dr. Gifford?
Okay, so a few things. Obviously, we had a successful opening, the professional development and everything else that was involved. A number of us were able to run around to all the schools. Between all of us, we got to all the schools the first couple of days and ironed out some transportation issues as usual, and things went well. No big deal, so that went well. Our elementary teachers started their training with that ST Math. You may have seen on the Facebook page, we posted about that, and you've heard us talk about that grant that we received for this supplemental program that we'll be using in the elementary schools. And so if you hear about Gigi, that's the creature penguin that is the children are hearing about. I was at Potter today when they rolled it out to the kids and getting them to use. But in conjunction with the Highlander training that will be happening, it's a good way for folks to have another tool in their toolbox for station rotations, et cetera, and to really deepen that conceptual learning that kids, there's a lot of visual things that are happening, and students talking about things and trying to solve problems. So I think it's going to go a long way to increase our students' understanding of math. And as you know, obviously we've been dealing with the Triple E issues, and I've emailed you the number of precautions we've taken, including working with, of course, our Board of Health here. The Bristol County Mosquito Program, we had reached out for additional spraying, so that happened. The band practices, the football, et cetera, has been switched, as you know. Unfortunately, we have to switch our games, so we've postponed the big opening of the stadium until we can really enjoy that. And Mr. Tebow had to postpone his back-to-school bash, and so we're making adjustments. But out of an abundance of caution, we always like to do that. One of the things we also we've just canceled our Lloyd field trips, the Lloyd field trips. Thank you. The center word, looks like Tracy tonight had a word loss. I lost my word of center. Once again, it was just, the kids being in the wooded areas and stuff, so we'd rather be safe than sorry. You may have seen once again on the Facebook page, one of our senior setters on our volleyball team, Sierra Yim, was awarded through the American Volleyball Athletic Program. She's a great setter, so and only 5'2". Yeah. So she was named as an outstanding athlete in that area, and unfortunately they were playing tonight, and she may have been able to hit her 1,500 set. The sets that she does have to result in some kind of a kill, a spike or a kill. So Jessica Lassie, one of the coaches, said this is the first time they've had a student really achieve to this level since she and her sister have been coaching. We were able to get over to Quinn today, talk about some culture building and relationship building and excitement. You saw with the new teachers today. It was a fantastic weather day for the whole entire school, for their all-school assembly outside with the teachers playing volleyball. I think there were 100 teachers on the court, I swear. And they also were going to give an example of the color run that will be coming up, but I didn't get to stay for that. But the excitement and energy and, again, the camaraderie that was happening between the teachers and the students, and then teachers being able to talk to students about what they saw for team building, and it's just one of those moments that we do with our PBIS rallies, et cetera. So it was a nice morning. Like I said, we did go to Potter to see the GG get rolled out with ST Math. Middle school had their open house. You know, all the open houses are happening, so that went over well. And the high school summer reading is this week, their first meeting with the folks that volunteered to, and as I told you, I think once before, no one chose my book. So Tracy said it's because it was this big. I don't know. I'll have to adjust my thinking for next year. But maybe I'm happy because I don't have to go. Kate's going. She's all excited about that. And just lastly, I just want to thank, I did put on your station just an article that was in the South Coast about it's not particularly about our lunch program, but Jean was mentioned in it in the Dartmouth program. And I wanted you to notice that she said from last year, the district has served an additional almost 23,000 meals, an increase of 8.2%. And again, I think it's, we would like to think it's attributed to the wonderful selections that they're having and how they've really changed up the cafeteria itself, the look of it, and the offerings that we have. And so we were pretty pleased with that, and she's got some new ideas, meatless options and all kinds of things that are happening. But she's been a real asset to us. And again, thanks, you saw tonight some of the product that they put out, and we want to really thank her for that. She helps us with PD days or anything that we need, and I just thought the article was nice to show the increase that's happened in our lunch program. So that's what I have for you tonight.
Great, yeah, a lot of great stuff. I don't have much. It just came to me as I was looking at these two faces in the third row, just thinking. Two faces, or three faces, no. The YouTube video that the high school put out going back to school. So if you check out the Dartmouth High School Media YouTube channel, I don't have like the digits or whatever you call it, but how hysterical. It's just really fun to see everyone so engaged about coming back to school. So thank you for that. It was nice to see, and thank you for just wonderful. I will note that next Monday at 6 o'clock is the first special meeting here at Quinn for the parents and anyone that wants to come, any interested parties for the Special Education Parent Advisory Council, and we'll just be going over what that means and how people can get involved. But that's really all I have. So, does anybody have anything else? Jenkins?
So we did our DEF grant ceremony. Thank you. Mr. News was there, and a number of the administrators. It's always a lot of fun to see all the interesting stuff that people are going to do. I saw my cousin actually posted a picture of a sensory path that she put in her school. So now I'm really excited to go see what it's going to look like at Cushman when those go up. But I also want to remind people that we have opened up we're accepting reservations for teams for our spelling bee, which is the 14th of November. And it's early flights. So the earlier you get your teams in, the more likely you are to get an early flight. I know I'm sort of a deadline-driven person. I think a lot of other people are. So we found we would get like a lot of teams the day before the deadline. So now we're creating incentives. If you get your team in earlier, you will get an earlier flight. We can't guarantee the first or what, so. You can email me. I think it went out to all the principals as well, the announcement. Maybe if not, I'll make sure you're saying no. I will look and make sure all the principals get that. So you can put team members in, and for people watching in the community, if you like to spell, we're happy to have teams come on. So that's November 14th is the spelling bee this year. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I do. Just a reminder, we talked a little bit about it when we were talking about capital improvements, but we've got our first football game this Friday night, so really excited to see everything kick off with the turf and that type of deal. Of course, all our spring sports fall sports are starting, so we wish them well. And the Music Association is hosting their annual U.S. Band home show on the 28th of September And at the moment, it's set for 6 o'clock. We've got 11 bands coming in from all over the night. So I'll be sending a email out to my colleagues and administrators looking for trophy presentations once I get the times, type of deal. So that's all I have.
Very good. Okay, well, our next meeting is scheduled for Monday, October 7th, here in the community room at 6:30 at Quinn. And at this point, I will entertain a motion to adjourn into executive session with respect to collective bargaining with union personnel not to return to open session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Roll
Roll
call.
call, please.
Kathleen Amaral,
Yeah.
Chris Oliver,
Yes.
Shannon Jenkins.
Yes.
Carol Karafotis. John Nunes.
Yes.